After almost a 6-month layoff without sports in Northern Nevada, professional soccer returns tonight here inside Greater Nevada Field as Reno 1868 plays host to the Tacoma Defiance in United Soccer League action. And hi, everybody. I'm Alex Margulies. Welcome inside of our broadcast booth. My partner, Brian Slusser, will join us in just a little bit. Boy, I tell you, it feels so good to be back on the airwaves after a long layoff as Reno 1868 resumes play now in a very newly restructured USL. Gone this year are the Western and Eastern conferences. Instead, it is broken up into groups, more regional play. And so far, Reno has been outstanding, winning both of their last 2 matches and sitting atop of their group with 9 points. And second is a Tacoma team that has played very well themselves, coming off of 2 consecutive wins, including a 4-0 victory last time out against Portland. Let's take a look at tonight's matchup, beginning with our key players. And for the Defiance, they're led in the back 4 by Taylor Mueller, a 31-year-old veteran center back who has been a mainstay in USL action. 8 years of play with Charleston, playing in over 203 appearances. He brings a veteran presence to a very young Tacoma team that is affiliated with the Seattle Sounders. On the other side of the pitch for Ian Russell and Reno 1868, they're led by a newcomer, midfielder Cristiano Francois, who has been a real spark plug, scoring 3 goals and 2 assists here early in his Reno 1868 FC debut. Can't wait to kick this one off. On the other side of this break, we'll have the starting lineups, and we will get things going. Reno 1868, the Tacoma Defiance, live right here on Nevada Sports Net. Check, check, check. All right, we are back inside Greater Nevada Field here in downtown Reno alongside Brian Slusser. I'm Alex Margulies, getting set for Reno 1868 and the Tacoma Defiance. Let's jump into the starting lineups, starting with the visitors in Tacoma, led by second-year head coach Chris Little. At the top, Alec Diaz has been a real threat. The 18-year-old has 4 goals and an assist, including a 2-goal performance last time out. In the goal is Christian Herrera, 23-year-old from Las Cruces, a recent signing of the Seattle Sounders franchise and sending him to Tacoma and to play with the Defiance. On the other side of the pitch for Ian Russell and Reno 1868, a newer look lineup for them. Gone are the days of the 4-4-2, the diamond formation that we're used to seeing. Reno now playing in more of a 4-3-3 or even a 4-2-3-1. The top returning Corey Herzog, 19 goals from a season ago, a career season, and the 28-year-old at the top joining a very talented offensive attack. Brian, it's obviously strange to be here without fans. It's just the lay of the land right now in sports, but I got to tell you, it feels really good to be back inside of a stadium watching some soccer.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be able to catch a match in person, and it's too bad that the rest of the fans can't be with us today, but hopefully they're at home watching.
Reno 1868 Soccer brought to you by Greater Nevada Credit Union, the official financial services provider of Greater Nevada Field. Visit gncu.org to learn more about Greater Nevada's passion for helping more people live greater. Reno had their opening attack sent backwards as Thomas Janjigian will serve it to their keeper, Eric De La Cerda, making his third consecutive start in goal, 19-year-old from Gilroy, California. Reno has gotten so accustomed to seeing a lot of those San Jose Earthquakes goalkeepers come down, the Matt Bersanos, the JT Marcinkowskis, but right now with the MLS having finished up their tournament in Orlando, none of the Earthquakes players, none of the MLS players are in the USL, so it makes things a little bit different for both of these clubs. And when you talk to Tacoma's head coach, Chris Little, he feels like it's actually added a lot of consistency for his team. In the past, Tacoma's a club, and before that, Seattle Sounders too, the S2, they're used to shuffling a lot of guys coming down from the MLS, a lot of guys going up from their academy, but right now they've got kind of a fortified group and a very similar lineup that they've been able to serve out the last couple of games.
Yeah, and he was also saying it's a great opportunity for those young players to really develop this season because they won't be substituted in and out with all the changes that are handed down with the MLS teams. And he's got a really young team this year.
Top two teams in Group A. I talked about that in the open. The restructuring of things coming out of COVID, the league trying to figure out a way to handle this pandemic, mainly the travel, and so they've split up the league into groups, kind of geographically, and Reno finding themselves with Tacoma, Portland, and Sacramento, and already getting off to a good start in Group A, picking up a couple of wins consecutively, including a 1-0 victory last time out in Las Vegas, and a 4-1 victory on the road in Portland. Chance for Reno to grab 3 more points here tonight and extend that lead right now that they've got over Tacoma. A 9-7 advantage so far at the top of those standings. We'll take a look around the league and show you how everything is stacking up across the USL Championship later on at halftime. First time that Reno 1868 has been back in their home building since back in February when they had a friendly. Started the season on the road in Tacoma back on March the 6th. Actually got a win against the Defiance on the road, 3-1, and then the league would shut down just a few days later and did not resume until July 19th.
Yeah, and with the break, that you think Tacoma might come out and do something different, but with the long break, you might as well just come out and do your thing and see how it works out in the first half and make adjustments later. We know, talking to Chris, he wasn't planning on changing too much.
Reno with their exact same lineup from their match against Las Vegas last week. Tacoma, a couple of changes from how they showed up against Portland on Tuesday. Here's Sam Gleedle for Reno 1868 coming up from his left back spot.
Yeah, he's done a great job coming up from that left-hand spot in all these games. Really impressed with how he's been able to make the switch from midfield into the defense.
Reno losing Duke Lacroix in the offseason, one of their fullbacks, and Sam Gleedle, who you mentioned played mostly at midfielder last year. able to fit in nicely for Ian Russell in that back four, opposite the veteran Brett Richards. Over the top, Benji Kikanovich chasing it down, but couldn't quite get to it as Christian Herrera, the keeper for the Defiance, will roll it back into play. Trying to get it that time to Alec Diaz and back to De La Cerda. Thomas Janjigi, the veteran, number 6. Been with the team since the very beginning. Leads the team in minutes this year. He has started now all 5 of their matches, making his 45th career start tonight. So Janjigi paired with Richards on the right side of that Reno defense brings a lot of experience to that back line.
Reno's done a great job with the slow buildup over the last few minutes.
Here's Kevin Partita, the Sparks native. Sends it out wide for Richards coming up from his right back spot. Puts a right foot into it. It's knocked away by Herrera. Pretty solid strike there from Brent Richards.
Yeah, good solid ball movement there. We're able to open up, get it out to Richards, and he goes ahead and takes a shot at it.
Richards, a beautiful goal last week, assisted by Cristiano Francois, who served one into the box on a set piece, and Richards side-kicked it into the back of the net. I thought it was one of the most impressive goals that he's had in a Reno uniform.
Yeah, no, one of the most impressive goals so far this season, I think. Showing that even as a veteran in the league, he still has the agility and acrobatics to do something like that.
Whistle goes against Tacoma, so Reno will take possession here in the 7th minute. Start of 3 consecutive matches here for Reno inside Greater Nevada Field. They'll return on Wednesday to play hosts to Sacramento in the second leg of the Donner Pass Derby. Reno falling on the road at Sacramento when they resumed USL play back on the 19th of July. That time swatted away by Herrera.
Yeah, Reno's able to find a lot of space in the midfield, but they're doing a great job of attacking the space when they have it. As you can see right there.
Sergio Rivas getting some space. That was a good stop there by Herrera, lunging to his right to keep that one from going into the back of the net.
You can see they've come out and wanted to test this young goalkeeper and see what he's got.
Herrera coming over to Tacoma on a loan from the Oakland Roots program out there in the Bay Area. Francois gives it back to the Tacoma offensive attack. Robles trying to find Diaz and couldn't quite link up with it, but a whistle goes against Reno. And now an early set-piece opportunity for the Defiance.
Yeah, Sam wasn't left with much there but to foul after Francois gave up the ball there in the midfield.
Danny Robles. He's got a goal and 2 assists this year. Instead, it'll be Fernandez who sends it wide, and not a very good try there for Tacoma. Pretty good spot to do something with that, and really kind of a wasted opportunity here early by the Defiance.
Yeah, they haven't had much going forward, so they wanted to take advantage of that if they could. But they're just slowly getting into this game.
Here's Francois with Gleedle on his left.
Janjigian left him on.
Tacoma on the counterattack, and it goes just wide. Just wide right for the Defiance. And now a corner kick coming up for Robles. Gleedle able to clear it with his head. Tacoma doing a pretty decent job here in the last couple of minutes, getting themselves some good offensive possession after Reno held on to the ball for the majority of the opening minutes of play. And Reno defends again, clearing that one back out to midfield.
Well, that was an excellent ball threaded through in, and Tacoma could have made more of that if they wanted to.
Tacoma bench not happy with that. Thought there was a little shove off from Reno. Doesn't get the whistle, though. Back out to Francois. Tough job there, hanging on to possession. Keeps it for Reno. Sends it back to Partita. Here's Brett Richards now.
Richards was looking for a little more movement off the ball and didn't get it. That's good defense there, holding it up.
One thing that when I talked to Ian Russell this morning about his team, he feels like this is a club that has really improved when it comes to defending the counterattack. He really thought that was a weakness last year, and they were very susceptible to other teams counterattacking and scoring goals, and he feels like the way that this team is constructed, as well as some of the different formational changes they've made in the offseason to match more what San Jose is doing, has really paid dividends when it comes to being able to defend the counterattack.
Yeah, going ahead and going to the man-to-man has really seemed to fix that problem that they had in the counterattack. And with Rivas and Partita in there, they're really strong, hard workers. So they can get away with, giving that a try. And we'll see how it goes for the rest of the year, see if other teams come up with something as the year goes on to deal with that. But as of right now, it's working for them.
Herrera able to get rid of that one as Tacoma nearly had a counterattack. Speaking of that, able to get deep into Reno territory. Alfaro was there along with Herrera. Tony Alfaro, 26-year-old from Mexico, new center back. You see him there in the middle following the ball. Alfaro still following, and he will trip up Alec Diaz.
Yeah, Diaz is a crafty player, and he's a goal scorer. And Portland has definitely shown they can score some goals in the last 3 or 4 games.
The whistle goes against Tony Alfaro. Played professionally last year with Guadalajara. Also some time in the MLS with Seattle. He was actually part of their MLS Cup team back in 2016. So he brings a lot of experience to this Reno back line.
I've noticed here in the last 13 minutes, anytime a player starts to get away, instead of just letting him go, they're going ahead and fouling him and stopping it.
A little chance here for Tacoma in the 14th minute. And it goes right into the hands of De La Cerda.
Well, a little bit better ball played in by Robles that time. Great turn.
Oh. Just off the mark there. Rivas trying to find Corey Herzog, and it was just out of his reach. Not a bad link up there, just not quite able to time it up.
No, great turn, but the weight of the pass was just a little too much. But great run from Herzog to get open. Like what Reno's done so far. They've been patient when they need to be, and then they press forward when it's open. Francois has been a little quiet. He's on the ball now. Good patience there.
Richards and Tucker Bone combining on the right side. Bone, one of the newcomers on the club, coming over from Colorado Springs, where he suited up for the Switchbacks last season. Hard tackle there by Partita, and won't garner a whistle. Now Janjigian comes up and takes it back for Reno. About 15 and a half minutes down. Pretty decent job so far by this Tacoma club. A very young team. A lot of 18, a lot of 19-year-olds. They do have some experience. Mentioned the captain in Mueller, who's 31, but the vast majority of this club is young, and that's typically how Seattle runs their USL team. They like to get young players, and they're not afraid of playing 15, 16-year-olds in this league. But this Tacoma club, coming off of 2 consecutive wins, they've come in here pretty well organized and have certainly not looked out of sorts here against a hot Reno team as well.
No, it's you can see that what they've done over there has been great for soccer in the U.S. because these young players are now getting a chance to play against men and not, high school soccer or club soccer. Now they're playing with professionals, and they're getting that experience at a young age. So when they actually get into this position, they can handle themselves, and they've done a great job tonight so far.
Talking to Chris Little, he mentioned Shannon Hoppau is a good example of some of that development, somebody who got a lot of playing time as a 16, 17, 18-year-old, and now he's up in the MLS with the Sounders and is a contributing member of that team.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, is developing players to go to the next level, and that's what the USL is trying to do.
Send it out wide to Sam Gleedle. Back to Thomas Janjigian.
A little careless there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think one thing early, if you're looking at Reno, I think Ian Russell probably not terribly pleased with some of the passing he has seen from his team. It has been a little bit lax at times.
Yeah, they're trying to be patient out of the back, but you don't want to get lackadaisical there. The worst place to lose the ball is in the midfield, plus especially playing into the center, as we see there.
Another giveaway, chance for Tacoma. De La Cerda with one stop, and he makes another. What a job by Eric De La Cerda. Check this out. Knocks away the first chance, gets right back up on his feet. That was an impressive job in goal.
Yeah, great job from the youngster there. He needed to come up big after a huge mistake in the midfield, as we were just talking about. You don't want to give it up there. Starts the counterattack and creates problems. But the young goalkeeper did his job. And that's great for a defense, knowing that you got a keeper that can do that. Gives you a lot more confidence as a unit.
De La Cerda getting some valuable playing time here early in the season, as I mentioned, especially in the absence of San Jose Earthquakes players not coming to Reno. De La Cerda coming out of the academy. He's been there since 2015. Made his first professional start last week against Portland. And has been sharp in a couple of challenge spots here early. The 19-year-old from Gilroy. Trying to find Francois on the outside. Good stop there defensively by the Defiance. Reno able to get it right back, though. Here's Kikanovich. Over to Bone.
Yeah, that was it's still in.
Richards just barely saves it and able to keep possession for Reno.
He wasn't quite on the same page as Bone there, but it was a good ball from Bone.
Richards on the throw. Herzog. Kikanovich spins around, and he finds the back of the nets. 1-0 Reno. Benji Kikanovich, his first goal with Reno 1868.
Well, it's nice to see him get a goal here, the youngster. We're looking for big things from this guy, and he's shown that he can do some things, and here he gets his chance. Great turn, and just finds the far post.
Very calm on the ball there after a couple of headers resulted in the ball at his feet, and he's able to find the back of the net. Benji Kikanovich, the 20-year-old from Antelope, California, has his first professional goal.
Yeah, looked like the long throw from Richards caught him off guard. Herzog, you know, he's always a poacher there in the box, so you know, if you're not going to get on it, he will.
Kikanovich is somebody that Ian Russell was very excited about when he talked about him this morning. Just 20 years old, as I mentioned. He's somebody that Russell and the Earthquakes were able to find at a combine earlier this year. That was after playing 2 seasons at Sac State in Sacramento, and he decided to leave school early in order to sign a contract with Reno 1868. Russell said he's extremely gifted, very, very quick, and he feels like if he can just start finishing, now that's what he wants to see. Got to start seeing the results in terms of goals scored. If he learns how to finish and can develop that ability to finish, then he is going to be a really good player and feels like he could be an impact player at the next level.
Yeah, and in order to play at the next level, if you want to be a forward, like you said, you got to finish. I mean, that's what it comes down to. That's what you're getting paid to do, and if you're not finishing, then you really can't call yourself a forward. But that ought to boost his confidence.
Well defended that time by Reno.
Rivas has done a good job tonight of closing things down in the middle and then opening up spaces and finding people going forward.
Community expertise and the medicine of movement, that's what Reno Orthopedic Clinic is all about. And it's why Rock is proud to be the official jersey sponsor of your Reno 1868 FC. Francois turns it over in the midfields. See if Tacoma can put something together. Here's Marlon Vargas. Vargas takes it back from Francois a second time. Now he's in the box. Right-footed strike goes off of Janjigian. Francois coming in to try and snatch it, but can't control the ball. And a corner kick now coming up for Tacoma here in the 23rd minute.
And Portland's did a good job of containing Francois tonight, making it hard for him to find space over there on the left-hand side.
Good start to that possession for Tacoma, but not much there for Robles as he couldn't square it up. Kicks it wide left and back to Reno possession here in the 24th minute.
I really like the partnership between Janjigian and Alfaro tonight. They've done a great job of communicating and staying together, keeping their defense as a unit.
And that was an area Reno did struggle at times last year. There were points in the season where the two center backs were playing really well together, and there were times where they were struggling. And here's a countered goal by Tacoma. They even the score at 1. A quick response by the Defiance, and we have got ourselves a new game as Tacoma evens the score. Is Robles able to find the back of the net past Eric De La Cerda?
Yeah, he got caught backing up, and Robles just decided, well, if you're going to back up, I'm going to hit it. And just right at the top of the 18, can't do that. You got to step up at some point.
So Reno with the early goal from Kikanovich, and then a answer from Robles. A 1-1 score here in the second meeting of the season between Reno and Tacoma.
Well, that's something Reno saw last season a lot of. They get a lead and then give it up.
Here's Tucker Bone. Teed it up for Kikanovich and couldn't do much with that. Back in goal to Christian Herrera. Couple of clean sheets already this year for Herrera, who's yielded 4 goals in a couple of appearances. All the way back to Janjigian, who gets it away from Alec Diaz. Here's Kikanovich.
A little indecisive there.
Had some space to work with, but had it taken away just outside the box.
I felt like he needed to take that space faster at the beginning and then you really commit to driving it and finding that open player.
Here's Robles again, who's now tallied 2 goals on the season, and he is tripped up. Greater Nevada proudly supports Reno 1868 FC on the field and all Nevadans financially off the field. We are here for you now and moving forward together. Alongside Brian Slusser, Alex Margulies here inside Greater Nevada Fields. Entering the 28th minute of play, a 1-1 score here between these two Group A opponents in what will be their second of 4 matches this season in this shortened USL circuit. Cleared out, and then that one booted off into the bullpen. De La Cerda quickly puts it back into play.
Tacoma's trying to playing high press, and it seems to be working. It's giving them Reno problems now.
Kikanovich sends it wide to Richards. Headed off of Bone. Knocked away by Herrera.
That was a great opportunity from Bone, just to glance it off his head and get it on, and good goalkeeping from Herrera.
Bone again, this time he dumps it off to Kevin Partita. Here's Richards. Tacoma trying to pull a quick counterattack. De La Cerda beats Diaz to the ball. Janjigian was falling back. Now back to Reno. Here's Francois.
Yes, he could have switched it again there. I mean, Tacoma's kind of giving up the right-hand side. Reno could take advantage of that right-hand side with Richards, and Richards is great at serving the ball in. If you continue to let Richards play that ball in, eventually Herzog will get on the end of it.
Reno getting on the board first. Benji Kikanovich, followed by a goal by Danny Robles. 1-1 tilt here as we cross the 30th minute here in the first half inside Greater Nevada Fields. Reno back here on Wednesday playing Sacramento and then returning a week from tonight to play Portland's collision that time. Herrera and Kikanovich. And Herrera is slow to get up.
Yeah, it didn't look like a foul at all. Looked like he got to the ball, touched it, and keeper ran into him. Oh, and he's given the penalty.
So a huge opportunity here for Reno. And they'll go to the veteran, Corey Herzog. Has yet to score this year. He had 19 goals last year and 64 in his amazing USL career.
Well, if they score here, it's because of Kikanovich's hustle to get in on that play.
And now a yellow card. See what Corey Herzog can do here.
Goalkeeper's playing games with his head, messing with the ball, and picked up a yellow card.
And Herzog delivers. And some words afterwards as Reno takes a 2-1 lead.
Well, Herzog tries to play right down the middle there and almost misses. Herrera gets a foot on it. Luckily not to save it.
A little chippy there between Herzog and Herrera, but the veteran able to best the young 23-year-olds. His first goal of the year and 20th in a Reno 1868 uniform.
And he had a great season last season with 19 goals. We're hoping he can do that again this season.
Both teams will head to their benches for a hydration break after a yellow card goes to Corey Herzog. Broadcast tonight is brought to you by Greater Nevada Credit Union, the sponsor of Greater Nevada Fields. Also want to thank our friends at Rock Express for injured bones, joints, and muscles. Skip the ER and head to Rock Express, the orthopedic urgent care that's faster and more affordable. Details at renoortho.com. So nice job there by Reno, able to regain the lead here in the first half, a 2-1 advantage. You mentioned Corey Herzog is going to get credit in the box score for picking up that goal, but that was the hustle of Benji Kikanovich, able to force that collision with Christian Herrera and earn the opportunity for that penalty kick.
Yeah, so he's been instrumental tonight in getting both goals. And I think that's what Ian wanted to see from him tonight. But it actually really comes from Reno doing a better job keeping possession, moving it from left to right, taking advantage of that right-hand side that Tacoma's given them. If they keep doing that, it'll eventually hurt you.
Out of the break, here's Tacoma. Looks like that one went to the back line anyways, but they'll let it stay in. De La Cerda will roll it to Janjigian. Reno notching just their third multi-score game of the year. They had 3 goals and a win over Tacoma in that March 6th opener before the COVID shutdown, and then beat Portland 4-1 last weekend. Or excuse me, about a week and a half ago. They were in Vegas last weekend with the win, and then midweek was the victory in Portland. Reno will see them again a week from tonight, another 7:30 kickoff. Good takeaway there for Reno. Sergio Rivas. Kikanovich trying to center it to Francois, and his header goes too high. Looked like Tacoma may have touched it last, though.
Another good movement from Reno. Great ball movement, passing. The movement off the ball has been really great, especially between Partida and Rivas. Again, Rivas wins the ball in the midfield, takes it forward. Really like what he's done tonight.
Sergio Rivas from the corner. Little tangle there for Richards, and whistle goes against him. So Tacoma ball here into the 37th minute. Here's Richards, the all-time leading appearer in a Reno 1868 uniform. Tonight, his 91st career start. He has appeared in 94 games. Been with the club since the very beginning, instrumental in their success over the last couple of years. Reno, a playoff team in each of their first 3 seasons as a franchise, including a franchise best second place finish last year, along with 18 wins. Reno lost a lot of key players in the offseason. Seth Kasipli gone, Duke Lacroix gone, but big to keep Richards in that back line. Such a versatile player that not only does a lot for Reno defensively, but he's also a big part of their offensive attack, as you see here.
Yeah, you know, you need a good mix on your team of those veterans and young players. Even Chris Little was talking about that in his team and bringing in Mueller and how he's been a big part of their team and has the leadership role and with such a young group. And Richards has been that for Reno.
It's crazy to think, in all the games that Reno has had over there now, 4 years of play, Brent Richards has only missed 5 of them.
Well, it has to say a lot about his fitness routine and probably his nutrition and everything else, his training regimen.
We had a little banter on our show, NSN Daily, this week on Nevada Sportsnet, NSN Daily, and the question was posed, what would your Reno 1868 Mount Rushmore look like? And I think the consensus was you absolutely have to have Brent Richards on there.
Agreed.
There were some arguments over a few of the heads. I made the case you got to put the coach up there, Ian Russell,
okay,
for what he's done. If it's only players, I get that you could kind of make the argument for both of those. I think you got to get Dane Kelly on there after his first season, kind of setting the tone as that goal scorer for Reno 1868. The last one was so hard for me because it was between Brian Brown and Corey Herzog. And I went with Brian Brown only because he's played more games, been with the team a little bit longer now. He's gone, but I mean, you think of what Corey did last year, and if he has a similar season this year, then I think there's no question he belongs up there. But it was a fun kind of spirited discussion. I will say Corey did earn some bonus points as becoming the Nevada Sportsnet beer pong champion this year. So that probably should have put him on the wall. Corey, for those of you not familiar with this, we put on a beer pong tournament. That's right, during the middle of this pandemic, a virtual beer pong tournament with celebrity athletes from Northern Nevada. We had some football players, basketball players, Corey, the soccer player, and Corey buzzed through and won the whole thing.
Well, you know, soccer players. After the game, you definitely like to go out.
You know, I thought, I was thinking one of the baseball guys was going to take it, but Corey was a sniper, man. Ice water in his veins. You can definitely tell his years as a scorer and knowing how to score Definitely came through on the beer pong table.
Yeah, focusing in on those cups.
Down to the box, goes off the head of one of the Tacoma defenders, and another corner kick coming up for Reno 1868. It was really good to get to know Corey a little bit more on a personal level during that tournament. A lot of fun watching him and his daughter and talking to him quite a bit. He was really excited to get back out and just be around his guys again, be around the team and get back out on the pitch.
Yeah, we all miss that. Even when you grow into your 40s, you know, you kind of miss that camaraderie and being around the guys and going to practices and being on trips.
We did tell Corey, we said, we hope this is the start of more than one trophy for you this year. We got the beer pong trophy. Now he's got to bring home a USL trophy.
Yeah, and hopefully the golden boot with the most goals this year.
Good job there that time by Tacoma to hold on to possession.
There's Herzog hustling back. Well done.
Tripped up as soon as he took it away.
Well, that's what I've always loved about Ian's teams is they always work hard. You know, especially they fight, they grind it out, no matter what's going on. Good days, bad days. He gets this team to play at the optimal level every week.
Just a warning that time for the captain for Tacoma, Taylor Mueller. I think it's such a cool story for Herzog, too, because last year he was ready to basically call it a career. He was going to hang it up. And just a couple weeks before the season started, he got a call from Ian Russell and said, "You want to come out to Reno?" And the rest is history. Came out here, really resuscitated his career. Not that it needed much of a resuscitation. I mean, he's always been a lethal goal scorer. But he was coming off of a down year in 2018. He had only scored 4 goals with St. Louis. But he comes in here, and we've seen so many guys now thrive playing with Ian Russell and his style. And we've seen a lot of guys become elite goal scorers, and we saw Corey Herzog return to being an elite goal scorer last year.
Yeah, and it was great to see. Lethal combo up top. And it was unfortunate that Brian Brown left, in the middle of the season. I mean, who knows what Corey could have done with him there. I mean, he could have scored even a few more goals.
Reno as a team, maybe they make a deeper run in the playoffs. You have Brian Brown still, but he had a chance to go play in Europe.
Yeah, and he took it. It's a smart choice for him.
Kind of proving what he needed to at the USL level, and that didn't lead to anything more for him going up to the MLS after having a previous MLS experience with Philadelphia. Couple minutes left in regulation. Richards back out to Rivas. Rivas, little touch there, and 2 wide.
I think he'd definitely like to have that one back.
Yeah,
the first touch, first touch was great. But again, getting down the right-hand side, continuing to let Richards get the ball out there and send balls into the box.
Broadcast tonight brought to you by Greater Nevada Credit Union, the title sponsor of Greater Nevada Fields. Approaching the 45th minute here tonight inside Greater Nevada Field alongside Brian Slusser. I'm Alex Margulies. Every single Reno 1868 game live this year on Nevada Sportsnet, home and away. And we'll be with you for the next 2, next Wednesday and Saturday, as Reno welcomes Sacramento and Portland. Both of those matches will be kicked off just after 7:30.
I think this looks like this half is going to end up like it should. I believe Reno should be up a goal. They've outplayed them just enough to be up a goal, but could have gone either way.
Janjigian holding possession, plays with Gleedle there. Gleedle again able to help out in the defense. Over to Herzog.
Right idea, bad ball.
Tucker Bone out there. Here's Richards. Brent gets himself squared up, and a left-footed strike is ricocheted out of play. Went off the body of Colin Fernandez, as just 1 minute of stoppage time is added here in this first half. Richards, the captain, gets the throw into Bone. Bone taken down, and the tangle up goes against Reno 1868.
Well, if team's trying to focus on Francois and keep him at bay, it's going to be really important for Richards to continue what he's doing on that right-hand side, getting forward, creating problems.
And that'll do it for the first half here inside Greater Nevada Fields, as Reno 1868 will take a 2-1 lead into the locker room. Benji Kikanovich, the 20-year-old, with his first professional goal, and the veteran Corey Herzog picks up his first goal of the season on a penalty kick, as Reno is able to take the advantage, a chance at 3 consecutive wins and a chance to pad their first place lead in Group A of the USL Championship. We'll take a break, come back with some halftime content, take a look around the league, and check out the USL standings plus first half highlights right after this.
Not a bad half of soccer.
Kikanovich spins around, and he finds the back of the net. 1-0 Reno. Benji Kikanovich. First goal with Reno 1868. On the throw. Herzog. Kikanovich spins around, and the back of the
The entire time you've been here and the existence of this program, you guys have never once lost to Las Vegas.
It's pretty simple. We've been the better team than them over the course of their, I guess it's their 3rd year now. I think our guys are always up to playing them. It's a good rivalry, but I think just in general, we've just been a better team and continue to get good results against them. We created a lot of chances in that first half against Vegas, and the only downside, we should have scored more goals. The game should have been over in that first half.
It's been a couple years now that you've been with this team, and each and every single time you've avoided an L against Las Vegas. Is there something to that against that team in particular, or do you just always happen to be playing fairly well whenever you two meet up?
I mean, it's a game that's really important to us as a club. Obviously, it's a big rivalry match. We want to be the best in Nevada. We want to be the best in the country, but a little bit of hometown pride here, I guess. So, yeah, we've had good results against them, and it's something that we want to continue to keep doing. So it's important to us, and it's important to the fans. Guys were playing at high intensity. Obviously, we were pressing them really, really hard and really denying them space, so they didn't really have an answer for it in the first half.
How personally satisfying is it to come away with a clean sheet and just one of your first starts on the professional level?
Oh, and it's a dream come true. And especially coming Saturday, being my first clean sheet, I was very, very pleased to come out with that result.
The USL is proud to bring professional soccer back into our communities and across the ESPN family of networks. Follow your local club and don't miss these exciting matches coming up on ESPN2 or ESPN Deportes.
Dr. George Champus from Northwestern and U.S. Soccer's Chief Medical Officer joins me. Coach, try and describe, as soccer has returned around the country over the past month, the work that you and the doctors at U.S. Soccer and in association with the USL Championship, the work you've put in to make sure everybody remains safe for athletes, staff, referees, and in some cases, fans.
Well, Mike, first, it's great to be with you, and watching the USL getting back on the field is really a special thing. To be perfectly honest with you, it's been a collaboration across, I think, our sport in the United States. I think it's what's been really, while we've seen so many challenges with regards to COVID, one of the really good things is seeing, all of the leagues come together, from USL to CONCACAF to NWSL to MLS to NISA, all of us really banding together as a single sport to find a pathway that is first and foremost healthy, and putting our players and all of the staff, coaches, announcers, referees, a top priority. And then subsequent to that was looking at our youth game, that we as a federation, can we create a very responsible guideline that really resonates across the sport.
And just to let you know, I will take that 90-second break. Okay. Hey, sports fans, Coors Light, the beer that's mountain cold, made to chill, wants to remind everyone to refresh responsibly. by having a plan to get home safely. It's simple. Always use a designated driver or request an Uber. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Alongside Brian Slusser, I'm Alex Margulies. Welcome back to our broadcast, brought to you by Greater Nevada Credit Union, title sponsor of Greater Nevada Fields. Reno on top with a 2-1 advantage. Brian, let's take a look at these first half highlights. Got some action early. Reno would get an early shot on goal from Sergio Rivas, but a nice stop from Christian Herrera, who is on his game early.
Yeah, Rivas has been great tonight on the defense, both on defense and offense. He's pushed the ball forward up the field, attacked the spaces, and then here we see Tacoma getting their goal.
De La Cerda with a great job with a couple of stops. Then Benji Kikanovich able to find the back of the net, the 20-year-old with his first professional goal. The header from Herzog, and just a smooth finish there from the youngster.
Yeah, in tight space, he had the composure to just take a nice little touch, flick it over his head, and then and bury it in the back of the net.
Just a couple minutes later, Danny Robles, though, was able to even the score as he picked up his second goal of the season. But after Kikanovich earned a penalty, it was the veteran Corey Herzog able to find the back of the net past Herrera. A little bit of jawing between those two. Both would garner yellow cards. And that's how Reno would take a 2-1 advantage here into halftime. What do you think stood out for you, Brian? We talked a little bit, and maybe didn't spend too much time talking about it, but there has been a formation change for Reno, going from the 4-4-2 diamonds and now into more of a 4-3-3, playing differently defensively and more of a man-to-man. How has that kind of looked differently on the pitch for you?
Yeah, it looks different, but Rivas and Partida are really doing a great job of moving in and out of spaces, creating space in the midfield, getting the ball switched from right to left, and that's created some problems from Portland. Portland's done a great job of shutting down the right-hand side with Francois, but they're leaving themselves vulnerable through the middle and then down the right-hand side where Richards has been able to take advantage.
Tacoma, a team that has won 2 in a row coming in. They picked up consecutive victories over their rival Portland's. What do you think Chris Little's telling his team at halftime, trying to get them into a position maybe to steal a point here on the road?
Well, I don't think they're in terrible shape. I think the game's been pretty even. Reno's had a little bit more of the ball and been a little bit more dangerous. But obviously Tacoma definitely has the weapons to get up front and score. So Reno's going to have to be careful, make sure they don't get caught on the counterattack. And then, for Tacoma, I don't know how much they're going to change. They might try to get forward a little more and just send people forward. But they have been high pressing already, so I don't look to see them change too much.
Before we head to break, before the start of the second half, let's show you our standings in Group A. Mentioned before, it's not Eastern Conference, Western Conference. We are now in groups. And those are the standings presented by Mercedes-Benz of Reno and Auto Nation Company. Reno is at the top there with 9 points. They also lead in goal differential. They've won 3, lost 1, have yet to draw this year. And that's something that kind of stands out to me, Brian. Reno is a team last year that drew just too many games. They had way too many ties, and that cost them a lot of points. It was the difference between them being in second or first. So I think early on, the fact that they're having so many decisions, I think that's a good sign for this team.
Yeah. You always want to get the win. You don't want to have too many of those ties. They do hurt you at the end of the season, especially when you're going from home field advantage and some of those things. So it can play a big part.
All right, we'll take one more break, come back on the other side with some more soccer second half action from Greater Nevada Field. Reno 1868 trying to go for their 3rd consecutive win and add 3 more points at the top of Group A. Welcome back to United Soccer League action here on Nevada Sportsnet alongside Brian Slusser. I'm Alex Margulies. Second half action as Reno and Tacoma will square off for another 45 minutes. Switching sides on the field, and it'll be the Defiance to take possession here to open up the second half. See a couple of the strikers there for Reno, both tallying goals in this match. Corey Herzog at the top of your screen, Benji Kikanovich at the bottom. And Reno's third forward, Tucker Bone, has been involved in the attack early. Big opportunity here in the middle of the season over the next 3 matches for Reno to rack up some much-needed points in what will be a very short 2020 regular season. Sacramento comes to town Wednesday, second leg of the Donner Pass Derby, and then against Portland a week from tonight. And as always, you can watch those games live right here on Nevada Sportsnet. Here's a giveaway. Kikanovich and cannot finish as Herrera gets his foot on it. And you said earlier there was a spot where Reno wanted to have one back, but that one Kikanovich really wants back.
Oh, yeah, he really should have finished this one here. But, you know, don't take anything from Herrera. That was a great foot save from him to react. But those type of opportunities don't come on too often.
So a chance for a brace for Kikanovich, wasted for now.
Oh, there's a handball.
Goes against Reno, and Tacoma able to survive an early attack here in the opening minute.
Yeah, they should be down 3-1.
Would have been a huge swing of momentum early in this second half, but instead, Christian Herrera, who got kind of into it with Corey Herzog in that first half, took a yellow card after touching the ball during that penalty kick exchange. He's been able to back up a little bit of his talk. He's certainly made a couple of very, very talented saves in goal and has been a pretty solid pickup for Tacoma after coming over on loan just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, he's a big goalkeeper.
Not only tall, you look at the wingspan, though. He's got big, long arms and those big, long legs.
Yeah, he's got a lot of confidence.
Richards trying to curl one into the upper deck, and that one goes too high as they'll go back into goal to Herrera.
Well, Tacoma's lucky that Reno didn't get that goal. It would have changed everything for them this half. They would have then had to really start pushing people forward and trying to get goals.
Another chance. And Benji gets tied up.
Well, he tried to give it on to Herzog there, and he probably should have just been a little bit greedy and went ahead and taken the shot.
Well, do you probably feel like he has that last possession still on his mind and probably didn't want to get down there and miss his second opportunity, and especially when he's got one of the best goal scorers in league history standing to his left. But as you said, he probably would have been better suited just to try and finish that himself.
Yeah, just, you know, he's in the middle, so he gets left or right, you know, as far as which post he wants to take, and then trying to thread that through there to Corey without the angle. Yeah, he should have been a little bit more greedy, but he's young, and I think he'll look at the film and realize that he should have taken that himself.
So bad news is Reno missing 2 early opportunities. Good news is they've had 2 really good quality opportunities in just the first couple minutes.
Yeah, and Kikanovich is, you know, he's getting himself in great spots and on the field to create chances for himself and others, and so far he's had a great night. Again, back to the finishing though that Ian was talking about. You know, if he can put those away, that just ends the game right there. Looks like Reno's going to press higher up the field this half and not give him as much room.
That's the beauty of the United Soccer League in many ways, giving guys like Kikanovich opportunities. You know, he was not heavily recruited. He played at Sac State. Then he was found by Reno's coaches in San Jose. He's given it a chance here in the United Soccer League. And at 20 years old, as I mentioned before, Ian said he's a guy he thinks very highly of and has the talent and the skill to have that translate at the next level. He's a big body. He moves quick. But the one thing is that even at 20 years old, now you just need to start seeing those results.
Yeah.
And the results matter at that position. Other positions you can get away with stuff. The box score really matters at the forward position, though.
It sure does. I mean, you just can't get around that as a forward. And when you take on that position, you just know that you're going to have to be a goal scorer.
Little deflection there, finds Rivas. Looking to center it there for Richards and taken away by Tacoma. Not able to escape it yet. Good at trailing there by Richards to steal it back. Good help there from Rivas. Finds Partida. Now outside to Francois. Just over the top of the head of Bone. Back out to Richards.
Oh, I need some more movement from the forwards there. They just stood there when Richards got the ball.
Pushing and shoving there for Corey Herzog, who is taken down to the ground but won't get a whistle after some contact there from Nick Hines, who's able to defend that play.
That was good hustle. I thought he might have won the corner for Reno there. The linesman said it went the other way.
Chance for Tucker Bone, and he goes too wide. So a third wasted opportunity here early in the second half for Reno.
Yeah, Reno's really coming after him this half, trying to finish this game off. If they can just get somebody to put it on goal. But there's, you know, for the youngsters out there, you can see Bone just trying to kill the ball and not place it. If he just find the corner and place it, he would have scored there. And a lot of these, you know, for young players out there, to be a finisher is different than just being a shooter. You got to pick your spot, be confident, and hit it. It's just the last pass.
Bone had one goal last year with Colorado Springs, playing for the Switchbacks. Was one of the free agent signings for Ian Russell in Reno 1868 in the offseason. Back over to Brent Richards. Here comes the captain. Lays it out for Bone.
I would have liked Bone to make that run a little earlier, so he's creating space for the other players up top, and they were waiting for something to happen, so they knew what runs they could make. He needed to create that space.
Gonzalez on the clear, gets it out to Gleedle for Reno. Rivas trying to get it back to Gleedle. Tacoma having a hard time holding any kind of possession right now, and this is really the style Ian wants. Hold on to the ball, put a lot of pressure on opposing teams' defenses. He's real big on that.
Yeah,
ball control and not giving teams a lot of space.
It's what we've come to expect from Ian's teams. High pressure, and just the high pressure of their offense usually sets it up where you can't really get onto your offense because you're constantly defending and you're on your back foot. And that's what they've got Tacoma doing right now.
Talking to Tacoma's head coach Chris Little earlier this week, he said that's the kind of style he wants his team to play as well. They want to be a high-pressing, high-attack team and a team that can really hold on to possession and take their game to other clubs.
Well, unfortunately, they really haven't been able to do that tonight. They've kind of just settled in and not really taking it at Reno. And it seems like they have a little bit more firepower and just not taking advantage. Diaz has been pretty quiet. Haven't heard much. Haven't seen him do much. No, I think they've really lost the center of the midfield. Rivas and Partida have done a great job of containing that midfield and making it their own.
That's such a big part of a team that wants to play up high and wants to constantly pressure and attack, is you've got to have good center midfielders that can control that middle of the field and really protect. And that's certainly, you said it, they've been two guys kind of quietly involved, but have been real keys in this match tonight for Reno.
Yeah, and then, we haven't said a lot about Bone either, but he's quietly done a good job out there. He hasn't done anything spectacular, but he's doing his job, and he's had a couple opportunities there on the right side. Just needs to take advantage.
Little run from Partita.
He didn't have a lot of options there. He was just running out of room.
Bone trying to race down Nick Hines. Hines able to get past him, but can't do much after that, and then Bone will clear it away.
Well, that was good effort from Bone not to quit. He knew may not have been as fast, but a lot of players would quit right there, but he just kept going and then ended up catching up to the play.
Good job there by Janjigian getting in front of Diaz and forces him into his mistake. A wasted chance there by Alec Diaz. You mentioned he's been very quiet tonight. When we talked to Chris Little, he was very pleased at the way that he has progressed at 18 years old and really coming into his own this year, leading the team with 4 goals.
Yeah, but he's had a hard time with Janjigian and Alfaro in there. And like I said, those two have been playing great tonight.
Another chance for Kikanovich, and that one goes off his foot. You'd see the despair there from Herzog, who is to his left again.
Yeah.
Great job there again by Reno's defense. This time it was Richards hanging in there to clear it away, and that was a tough assignment for Tacoma, 4-on-1 with 4 defenders in the box for Reno 1868. Francois. How about the hustle from Francois?
Kitahara knew he was in trouble there, and he was just doing anything he could to keep Francois from getting to the ball.
Try to wait for a couple other players to catch up, open up a little bit of a chance for Kikanovich, but this time tighter defended. Not much space for him to work with, and back into goal for Herrera, who's had a couple strong plays in front of the net tonight.
And there you can see the speed of Francois and what he brings to the table. And why you got to be really diligent about making sure he doesn't get loose on you.
Well, and talking to Ian Russell, he thinks this is the best team speed he has ever had in the 4 years in Reno. When he looks at his team from top to bottom, he feels like they are really, really fast. Robles. Corner kick coming.
Well, that's been one of the differences that I noticed tonight through the midfield with Rivas and Partita is that they're really taking it at players when they get it into the middle. They're not holding it up when they don't have to. They're hitting the holes, trying to create offense, and that's been something that sometimes I think Reno was holding the ball too long in some of the games last season. when they could have been advancing the ball forward.
Now into the 60th minute, Reno on top 2-1, still leading after the goal by Herzog on the penalty in the first half. Nice job again by Janjigian at center back.
Well, this is what we worry about Reno. We had our chances, didn't put it away, and we're still at 2-1.
Well, that's got to be a lot of life for Tacoma, knowing that.
Yeah.
They're still in this game. And a chance here.
Ooh.
Oh, just wide.
Yeah. And
Alec Diaz with a shot there and a pretty good opportunity for him, and just barely missed it.
And we see something like just something simple like that there, all of a sudden turns into a goal, and we're 2-2 and could have been up 4-2 at this point.
Last touch by Reno, so another corner kick coming up now for Tacoma.
I think this is where Rogers could be dangerous for Tacoma. I remember last year he had quite a few goals with his head on corner kicks.
Reynolds this time from the corner. De La Cerda there to make the save. Start things out with Partita. Janjigian surveys the fields. Looks like the Defiance are poised to make a couple of substitutions here. About 15 minutes into the second half.
It's a great ball from Alfaro. Good run from Francois.
Gleedle trying to time one there for Francois. It was broken up by Tacoma's defense. And it looks like they will now make one substitution. And it looks like Chris Hegart will come in.
Looks like they're going to try to get a little energy into that center midfield.
Here's Nick Hines. Another long run from Hines. Trying to get past Alfaro. Gets past Alfaro, and he's tripped up in the box, and that is trouble for Reno as Sergio Rivas takes down Nick Hines. A penalty kick coming up.
Well, good run from Hines. Again, Bone just couldn't keep up with him and track him back, and Hines ended up taking it at him, and Rivas caught him there in the box.
That's the second time Nick Hines has taken the ball from all the way back in goal and sprinted all the way down the field. The first time he was met with an opposition by Tucker Bone, but this time able to get past Reno's defense, and now sets up this penalty kick opportunity for Alec Diaz and a chance to extend his team-leading goal tally to 5. Eric De La Cerda in goal here in the 64th minute. Diaz goes left, and De La Cerda is on top of it. What a save by the 19-year-old, and he preserves Reno's advantage.
Well, that's a huge save and by De La Cerda, and good job, young man.
Biggest play in the young career of Eric De La Cerda, who is appearing in just his 3rd professional game.
Well, a goal there could have been a shot to the heart to Reno after having all those opportunities beforehand.
Kikanovich dumps it off to Rivas. He's got Herzog out wide. There's Corey now. Partita tripped up. Clean play. Look at the hustle. Gets it right back.
And good defense from Richards there to poke it away. But Partita tried to go into a crowd there and got it taken from him.
Francois taken down.
I almost feel tonight if there's a part of the game that that Reno could do a little bit better on is their own counterattacks and going a little faster when they have it. Because they're giving Tacoma a chance to set their defense and having a little bit harder time breaking them down.
Here's Francois. Richards has it knocked away. Partita almost came in and snatched it again. See if Tacoma can do something here on the counter. Here's Diaz. One-on-one with Alfaro. And Alfaro tackles the ball cleanly. Diaz gets it right back in time to get a shot on goal, and he hits it straight into De La Cerda.
Well, that was better from Diaz, so he's starting to come alive now.
Reno able to preserve their 2-1 advantage here into the 67th minute. Tacoma starting to get a little bit more life offensively in the last 5-6 minutes. After Reno really controlled the tempo for the first, especially the first 5 minutes of this second half, but really the first 15 minutes of the second half was possessed almost entirely by Reno, but now you're starting to see a shift again with Tacoma getting a little bit more confident on their offensive end.
Yeah, you could really, like I was saying before, you could tell Reno really wanted to get that early goal and kind of finish it off and sit back. It's unfortunate they didn't get it because now they're going to be, it looks like they're going to be in a little bit of a fight for the rest of the game. You know, when you got a young team like this, if they could have put that goal away, it could have been it. But they still have an opportunity at 2-1.
Good possession here for Tacoma. Here's Hines again with Bone. Keeps it in. Tried to center it for Diaz. And Reno defends it as Francois goes to scoop it up.
Yeah, that's a matchup right now that Tacoma seems to be winning between Hines and Bone. I almost think if there's a sub coming, it'll probably be Bone here soon.
Some space for Richards on the right side. Reno patiently organizing. Here's Gleedle. Runs into some opposition. All the way back to Alfaro.
That's good. Might as well keep the ball. You got the lead. Get what you want.
Francois. Herzog. And it's swatted away by Herrera. Another tough save by Christian Herrera, who's had a couple good ones tonight.
And we haven't seen that all night with Francois getting 1-1-1 and being able to get around the corner. And when you do, you can see how dangerous he is. And it was a great ball into Herzog, and it's too bad Herzog didn't put that in. Yeah. Another solid opportunity wasted.
Still a corner kick opportunity, though, for Reno, and a man down first for Tacoma. Hines was banged up on the other side when he took it into the box, and now dealing issue with his right leg, and Reno will go to their first substitution as Emilio Yakaza will come in. 22-year-old from St. Petersburg, Florida. And Hines is still having a hard time here.
Well, that's going to be too bad for Tacoma. He was the one that was kind of giving him a bit of life there over on the left-hand side, making those runs out of the back.
Not a bad try there from Herzog.
Another great save from Herrera.
Yeah, I've been impressed. He's done a good job in goal.
Yeah.
Ready for that one as well as Reno coming in off the corner. Can't break through past that 2-1 lead. Trying to get that extra goal of cushion here in the second half.
A lot of space in the midfield there.
So Yakaza in for Rivas, just had his first touch. One of the newcomers on the team. Outside to Bone. Had a good idea there, trying to weave it in there for Herzog, and well defended by Tacoma, preventing the ball from getting to him. Job by Alfaro. Now it's Francois. Nowhere to go that time. Herrera will pick it up.
Been a little sloppy the last couple minutes. Looks like we got another sub coming.
Looks like that'll be it for Cristiano Francois. Or rather, he's just going to get a drink. The substitution is for Tacoma. So Richards on the throw-in here into the 75th minute.
Looks like Tacoma subbed out their midfielders. Maybe Kitahara for Ocampo.
Richards able to get it out of trouble. Here's Bone, and he clears. All the way back to Mueller. So here into the 75th minute, we have a hydration break. Remsa reminds you to drink half of your body weight in ounces of water every day to stay hydrated. Remsa, private nonprofit and providing out-of-hospital health care since 1986 without local taxpayer support. 2-1 Reno at this point, Brian, a chance to finish this one out and pick up their 4th win of the year. Let's take a look back at how Reno got here. They had an early opportunity as Tacoma and Reno would square off opportunities. And check out this double save by Eric De La Cerda to keep it a 0-0 score early.
Yeah, great job from the young goalkeeper. Here's the first goal.
Benji Kikanovich, his first career goal, able to find the back of the net past Herrera. Then after a penalty, it was Corey Herzog with his first goal of the year after Kikanovich earned the penalty. You can see a little chippiness there between the two. Both would get yellow cards. Then a penalty kick, and how about that save by Eric De La Cerda, keeping it a 2-1 score. So really, the young 19-year-old in only his 3rd professional start has been a huge part of Reno's advantage. The save very early on, that was of high difficulty. And then, of course, anytime you can stop a penalty kick, you're going to get a lot of support from your teammates.
Yeah, I mean, for a goalkeeper to make, basically 3 big saves like he did, I mean, that's what you expect out of your goalkeeper. Hopefully just make one of those a game, those tough saves to keep you in it. But he's given Reno 2 good saves to keep them in the game and keep their lead. So he should feel really good about what he's done tonight.
Back to goal for De La Cerda. Greater Nevada proudly supports Reno 1868 FC on the field and all Nevadans financially off the field. We are here for you now and moving forward together. Alongside Brian Slusser, Alex Margulies here. Reno 1868 Soccer on Nevada Sports Net. Glad to be back on the airwaves, our first of 3 games in the next week. Back here on Wednesday, 7:30 start, and then a 7:30 kickoff a week from tonight, as both Sacramento and Portland will come to town next. Jiggy impatient finds Yakaza.
I'm not sure what Herzog was doing there.
Reno is in real good position there, but the whistle blows before they can do anything with it.
It looked like Bone just grabbed him. Seemed to have lost a little bit of that flow in the midfield since pulling Rivas out. It's going to take a while to get that rhythm back.
Who keeps your Reno 1868 players fit to win? Reno Orthopedic Clinic, official team physicians and experts in the medicine of movement. Reno Orthopedic Clinic. Now into the 80th minute. De La Cerda. Headed around, finds Yakaza. Bumping his way into the defense. And a whistle goes against Tacoma. Good effort there by Yakaza. Give Tacoma a lot of credit. They have hung in this match tonight. Could have folded several times here in the second half. But behind some great goalkeeping of their own, Christian Herrera has kept this a one-score game. And still an opportunity for them to come out of this road match with a point. And what could be very crucial in this very shortened season. These two teams only play 4 times. Reno got the first win on the road, and certainly Tacoma would love to come away and at least just get 1 point here at Greater Nevada Fields.
Yeah, this would be a big early win to stretch the lead. Of course, against the second best team right now in their group. You feel like if they could come out at three wins out of 4, they'd probably win the group.
And like I said before, Reno really a big opportunity already with 3 wins on the season, a chance here over their next 3 matches, including tonight. You take care of business at home, and you put yourself in a very, very strong position heading into the final chunk of matches through the rest of the season.
Yeah, and it's always nice to be able to rest players and stuff at the end before going into the tournament. And hopefully Ian will get his boys lined up and ready to do so this season. But they're looking great this evening.
Only 11 matches left after tonight. Richards on the throw-in.
Now Reno just needs to be smart, make sure they don't give up the ball in bad positions, not push too many people forward, just finish out the rest of the game. But at the same time, don't hunker in and just defend.
Nice job by Alfaro taking charge there. Yakaza gives it back, though. Good hustle by Yakaza, finding the ball once again. Here's some space for Cristiano Francois. And just a little bit out in front of his own feet.
Yeah, it took too big of a touch. And then again, you needed to just hold on to the ball and not worry too much about scoring. It's great to try to get there, but it would have been better if he could have held the ball and wasted another minute or 2. Allowed the team to get up, keep possession.
Throwing now for Tacoma. Here's Chino Perez, who came on as a substitution. He's got 2 goals on the year. 22-year-olds. Bounces it in. Now it's Ocampo Chavez. Top scorer Diaz trying to go to the corner. 2 wide. Not the kind of chances Reno wants to be giving up right now, though.
No, and you can see why Diaz is a dangerous forward. You just give him a little bit of room, and he can make something happen.
Diaz able to get some space past the veteran Alfaro. Now it's De La Cerda. You can make a strong case that he deserves to be the player of the match.
Yeah, definitely you should be.
Either him or Kikanovich. getting his first goal as well as earning a penalty that resulted in Reno's second goal. And they'll continue to go to their bench here as we wind down to the final about 6 minutes or so here of regulation. Eunice Budati will check in now for Cristiano Francois. Here's Tucker Bone. Kikanovich back to Bone. And cleared away. That'll earn a corner. Brett Richards will go down for Reno. Just throw it in. Back into Richards.
Oh.
Nice back kick there for Kikanovich. Not a bad try.
Well, for Tacoma, it's too bad. I guess Hines is, had to come out because he was really giving them something on the left-hand side, and now they haven't had much offense on the left-hand side since he left the game. Few more subs coming in.
Kikanovich comes out and Foster Langsdorf is in. Langsdorf, a veteran of the league, last 2 seasons with Portland where he scored 21 goals. So he will take over for Kikanovich.
Good touch from Sam.
Gleedle. Bone.
Oh,
what a save again by Herrera. He has been outstanding tonight.
He's been out, amazing tonight.
There was nothing wrong with that finish from Bone, and Herrera, the reflexes on that to swat that one away was a very high difficulty save.
The goalkeeper on both teams has been excellent this evening.
'88th minute. Here's Partita from the corner. Just taps it over to Herzog. Here's Yakaza. Langsdorf.
Offsides.
Possession back to Tacoma. Time running out.
Now they just need to hold on to the ball.
Not a good giveaway there by Tacoma. Reno will get a chance to really hold possession now.
Yeah. Well, and if they can hold possession and get Tacoma running, chasing the ball, they might be able to open something up to get their third goal.
Bone able to scramble away from the pole. Back out to Yakaza. And Gleedle. Gleedle serves it in.
Ooh.
Herzog trying to redirect it. A little bit too far for him, though. Not a bad try there from Gleedle, who has been active here in the last couple of minutes.
We just need group defending. Everybody needs to defend for a couple minutes. Shouldn't be too much extra time added on.
Man down here for Tacoma. Less than a minute to go here in regulation. We will likely see a couple of minutes added. And it'll be 4 minutes of stoppage time as Reno tries to hold on for their third consecutive win. Yakaza putting pressure, and he wins it, but a whistle.
Yeah, he caught him there. He didn't think he did, but he got him.
See what Tacoma can do here. De La Cerda jumps up and snatches that one out of the air. Reno with both of their goals in the first half. Tacoma the same. Tacoma wasting a golden opportunity, not able to finish on a penalty kick. Reno had a couple early chances in this half themselves. Could not convert, but we have not seen a goal since Herzog's penalty kick towards the end of the first half. Win tonight, though, would be a big victory on a couple of levels for Reno. Of course, it would keep them at the top of Group A. It would also give them 2 wins early against this Tacoma team and put them in a great spot heading into the rest of this homestand against Sacramento and Portland. Partita can't hang on to it. Yakaza going to get a yellow that time.
Well, a smart foul there at the end of the game. Might as well take the yellow. You don't want this counterattack to happen. But Reno's been much smarter on the counterattacks this game than last season.
Here's Robles with a minute and a half to go. Reno survives the set piece after the yellow card went to Yakaza. Trying to get Eric De La Cerda another win and goal tonight. And what would be a very deserved one.
Well, and I think you're right. He should be player of the game tonight.
Pulls that one out of the air. It's a tough choice between him and Kikanovich, considering Kikanovich got his first career goal and earned a penalty for Reno's second. I think anytime you can get a save on a penalty to keep your team in the lead, it's pretty big.
Yeah. I would say if Kikanovich could have come up with another goal out of the two chances that he had, he would have definitely been player of the match. But yeah, I've been really impressed with the goalkeeping from De La Cerda. Both his, with his distribution in the air, he's done really well as well. The saves, obviously the PK. Just a good night for the young man.
And a good night for Reno 1868. 3 points here at home as they top Tacoma in a final score of 2-1. So Reno gets their first victory here in their home confines, their first match of the season at Greater Nevada Field. and they are now streaking. They have won 3 in a row and sit firmly at the top of the Group A table with 12 points on 4 wins and 1 loss, and another great start in season number 4 for that man, head coach Ian Russell. Picks up his 55th career win as manager of this team. We'll take a quick break, come back on the other side with highlights as we will show you how this one came down, but it's a Reno victory on top of Tacoma here inside Greater Nevada Field. More here on Nevada Sports Net right after this. Okay, thanks. Okay, perfect. Okay. Our Save of the Match tonight presented by Nevada Donor Network, who encourages you to save lives by registering as an organ, eye, and tissue donor at registerme.org. And how about that job by Eric De La Cerda, the save on the penalty kick. What an incredible job taking that one away from Alec Diaz, and that was a huge difference maker in Reno picking up their 4th win of the season.
Yeah, huge game for the goalkeeper. And also a big game for Kikanovich. Lacerda, again, he just did everything right tonight.
If your world could use a bit more chill, reach out for a cooled Coors Light with mountains that turn blue. At Peak Refreshment, it's made for one thing and one thing only, to chill. Mountain Cold Refreshment, made to chill. 2020, Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly. Here on Nevada Sports Net alongside Brian Slusser, I'm Alex Margulies. Our broadcast brought to you by Greater Nevada Credit Union, the title sponsor of Greater Nevada Field. Well, it was exciting to be back inside the ballpark. We had a chance to watch a live sport for the first time in a very long time. Brian, very privileged that you and I got to do this here tonight. Of course, no fans. Hopefully that'll change here in the coming weeks and months, allow even just a small amount of fans to come in to Greater Nevada Field. But for now, just you and I and just the staff and other members of our broadcast crew. But hopefully for those of you who watched at home, enjoyed yourselves. And why not? A 2-1 victory for Reno, and a lot of moments that Ian Russell has to be happy with tonight.
Yeah, really exciting game. It was good to, like you said, it was great to be back, and then we get a game like this to watch. Couldn't have been better.
Let's take a look at some of those second half highlights. Reno had a lot of chances in the second half. They were already up 2-1, and we mentioned kind of that discussion about Kikanovich. Well, here is one chance he had early. He was squared up on goal. You got to give credit to Herrera, though. He did a great job in goal himself.
Yeah, he got one of those spider legs out there and saved it.
A few seconds later, Alec Diaz with a chance but came wide of net. Then was Francois leading a run. Another great save by Herrera on the header from Corey Herzog.
Yeah, if you're a goalkeeper, you loved watching this game because the goalies were on tonight.
Reno had a last chance here from Bone. Thought this was a great ball put on by Bone, and Herrera once again was up to the challenge. So quality goalkeeping on both sides, and a good match that ends in a Reno victory as they improve to 4-1 with no draws on the year. They move to 12 points and extend their lead in Group A here in this 2020 season. Tacoma, they'll fall to 2 wins, 3 losses, and a draw, and they will stay at 7 points. That's not going to be it for us this week, though. We have got a lot of soccer on tap right here on Nevada Sportsnet. Our upcoming broadcasts include a couple of matches here at home next on Wednesday night. It'll be Reno 1868 taking on the Sacramento Republic, then a 7:30 kickoff against the Portland Timbers 2. You can watch all of these games, home and road, but 4 of the next 5 right here inside the friendly confines of Greater Nevada Fields. You can watch them all on Nevada Sportsnet. I want to thank our entire crew for their hard work. As I said, great to be back out at the ballpark, and hope you guys enjoyed this telecast of Reno 1868 soccer. For my partner, Brian Slusser, I'm Alex Margulies saying so long from downtown Reno. 1868 comes home with the win. We will see you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.